Yo, what's up, guys? This is Nai here, and I'm really happy to do this. And this is my first walkthrough tutorial on YouTube, and I'm really excited to do this. And I really hope that you guys could learn something from this. So, this is a project of my remix of Wild Mind by Jay Hardway, featuring Tiffany Bloom. And I recently released the remix, and I really hope that this project could help you guys out. So let's get started. This is how it sounds. I'm going to play it out for you guys so that you'll have an idea of it.
There's no point in pushing time, 'cause my sky is turning green. I think I'm chasing down a dream. I need to get away in motion. Don't you feel like this is right? Am I? When you look in my eyes, do you see a wild mind? 'Cause you hold on and I hold. Hold on and I hold.
So that was the project till the drop, and it is a pretty simple project. Actually, I didn't spend a lot of time on it, and I really thought that this had something really unique in it, which you guys could use. And without wasting more time, let me just move on to the drop. So I'm going to explain the elements of the drop first. And so basically, the drop revolves around the vocal, which was the main idea which I started with. I wanted to chop the vocals and give it a nice and groovy feeling. So this is what I did. And so this is the vocal on the drop, and I chopped it. There are a lot of layers on the drop, like a lot of bass shots which I've used, and so this is a bass shot from the Julian Jordan pack, and I really like this a lot. I used growls and stabs on every first kick of the bar in the drop, and it really gave a nice impact for the drop. And I used a lot of other layers, and these are just simple layers for the claps on every second beat. This is a bass shot which I use from an old sample pack from Ollie James, and I really thought that this gave really good depth to the track, and it really fit well in the drop, so I used this one. And these are some chops, um, which are basically synth growls, which I found from the revealed one of the revealed packs, and I kind of just messed around with these, which really gave a good vibe to the whole drop, and it glued all the sounds together. So I really liked it, and I've used it. But uh, it really works when all the percussion um, are played together in the drop. So these are two percussion layers which I used, one shots from cymatics. So altogether it sounds like this. And also for the low end I used three basses. um, all of these basses were from the stock presets from Serum, and I kind of just tweaked them a little to make them more to my taste. And these two are the mid basses. This is the first one, this is the second one, and this is the sub bass. And to give the drop a more bouncy, groovy feeling, I just automated the pitch for these three sounds so that it could really make the bass pop out more. And they all sound together like this. And for the second half of the drop, I used these arps to give it more variation. Once again from Serum, and what I did here was um, I used I kind of filled the spectrum with the ARP playing on each octave, so that the spectrum is filled and the ARP sound full. And I added this ambience so that uh, these ambience from cymatics really help in making the drops full. And there are various percussion in here which I've panned to the left and right. And there's one thing which I really do a lot on my percussion, and that is this, which you all might know. Actually, this helps me to start the percussion play on one side of my headphone really fast, but you perceive it to play on both the sides of your headphones, so it gives a really good effect. Without this it sounds like this. So if it is like this, the percussion plays in the center, and it pretty much collides and clashes with a lot of elements like the kick, etc. And when I do this, you can feel this difference if you're wearing your headphones. So for this, you need to put the delay over to one side and the phase onto another, and it makes it it makes the sound start early on one side, and it gives this effect of playing on from the sides of your headphones, and this really helps a lot. And so that was my drop, and teach um, let me just show you the vocal processing, which I think is really important. And this really plays a lot. uh, this is important for any kind of music, any kind of genre you make, so I think I need to show this. So first of all, what I did was with the vocal was I used a little bit of Camel Crusher, Bit Crusher, to just increase the distortion a bit and slightly compress the vocals. And when I used the British clean preset, I lowered the amount of compression and lowered the distortion amount a bit, so that it could really make it more clean and make it up to my taste. And the important thing with this is that the chain and the order of plugins over here. And usually whenever I add distortion or reverb or anything, I always remove the lows and EQ the sound, so that all the unwanted and the extra frequencies produced by the plugins are also removed. And this is very important when you need to make your mix really clean. And I think that this really makes a lot of difference. And just simple reverb, added some delay over here, and just increased the time and adjusted this to my taste, so that the vocal, um, the delay is on beat and is in the correct tempo. I reduce the amount of it so that it doesn't sound too bright. And once again, I removed the lows, so that the after effects from the plugin itself is kind of removed. And this is something which I really use a lot on my vocals. Um, so basically, there is a vocal for de-essing. There is a preset for de-essing. Sorry, and it is inside this part on FabFilter Pro C2. And I think that this really works to remove the S sound on the vocals. And you can see that the S sound is removed, and it really sounds pretty clean. And this one is just a normal compression to just make the levels flow, um, and so that the volume is constant at one point. And this is just for the volume automation, and here is sidechain at the end to give it more groove along with the kick. So that is basically the vocal processing. And for all the sounds, um, I really use a lot of Camel Crusher to give it more depth, character, and so that the sounds are sounding really crisp, and it really helps a lot. And also, so I guess that's it. That's basically it about the drop. And the break was pretty simple. It is just with the vocals, and I did a vocoder project on a separate one, which I'll be explaining on another tutorial. And I think this project was something which I really worked on quite fast, and it really helped me to improve my flow. And I really think that you guys can learn something from it. And I really hope that you guys like this video. So please do subscribe to my channel, and I'll be coming up with a lot more videos during quarantine. And so stay safe, and thank you so much once again.